signal rising through the haze. Global watchmen lighting up the maze. They don't flinch, they don't fold, digging deep, breaking the mold. True patrol on digital ground, every whisper, every sound. Hey, eyes on the truth, no turning away. Global watchmen shining through the gray, from the shadows to the screen. They decode what the silence means. Click subscribe, let the veil be torn. This is the news we've been waiting for. Hey, hey, waiting for. Oh, hey, hey. They're not bought, they're not blind, calling out the ties that bind. From the towers out to the street, they bring the fire, they bring the heat. Algorithms can't silence the flame, and when the watchers rise and call out the game, oh, no fear, no filter, no retreat, just the pulse of truth beneath the beat. Eyes on the truth, no turning away. Global watchmen leading the way. Every story, every thread, for the living and the misled. Raise your voice, let the signal soar. This is the news we've been waiting for. Hey, hey, waiting for. Oh, hey, hey.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. My life has value.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Global Watchman News. My name's Lori Spot. Hope you guys are all doing well. Here in the live chat, we do have to keep it friendly. We do have moderators in there to make sure that we stay within the terms of service put forward to us by the platform we're utilizing today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Take a minute, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, so you know when we go live. So good morning, everybody. It is early. Actually, I've been up for quite a while, but just sitting here and getting ready to go to work. And I thought I would come on because I'm actually going to try to get over to the ICE Center today. I was going to go live the other morning. I put out a short video saying that I was, and I do apologize for that, but my job had something else in mind for me. Wasn't anywhere near there, but I'm going to make it a point. Actually, it's not very far to go over there today. So what's going on here in Chicago? Well, so I guess overnight, the National Guard from Texas arrived here in Chicago. And I'm not sure how that is going to be met with the protesters over there. And I'm not even sure how many protesters there are over there right now. There is a live feed going on through CNN. Here, let me pull it up. Through CNN right now. But as I told them, it's not live. It's not live. It's just now getting to be daylight here. And this is not live. So I do want to get over there and take just a look at what's going on over there. Let's look at, I've got a couple things pulled up. Okay, so what did I do with, oh, here it is. Here's the map. Close this up. All right, here's the map from my house to the ICE facility. And it's about 30 minutes. But it's okay if I go that way because I will be I'll be by the airport area, and that's kind of where I want to work today. And it looks like traffic, only one little spot here. Where is that? Oh, it's in Hodgkins. Okay, it's always backed up here in this little area here. It's where we go to our Walmart. So, so I'm going to drive over there. I was kind of in the area yesterday. I had a scheduled airport run from like, I don't know, 6 minutes from my house to Chicago O'Hare Airport. And I was planning on sitting there for a while waiting for a ride back home. But I didn't even leave Terminal 1. I dropped her off and I didn't even like move, and I already had a ride going into that area. But unfortunately, Dave was coming home. Not unfortunately, but Dave was coming home, and I was cutting it real short, which, as a matter of fact, I really cut it short because I didn't have a chance to bring in all the groceries before I had to go pick them up at the truck yard. So yesterday was just kind of a cluster. But today I don't have anything on the books for scheduled time for rides and stuff. So I'm just going to let the app do its thing for me today. But, and I will be back tonight. Hopefully, I haven't talked to John, but hopefully we'll be back on. There's a couple of things I really, really, really want to talk to him about pertaining to Middle East, what's going on right now. It's crazy. Here, and it's so hard. And I know you guys, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm on Facebook, or even, no, it's mostly Facebook. And you see these pictures of these people and they're doing things, or you see videos and it's like, am I the only one who can tell that it's AI? I mean, like, for real. People are like, I literally, I trip running to the comments because I just want to see what gullible looks like. Talk about, and the one verse comes to mind, and that is, if possible, even the elect would be deceived. Because I see so many people who I've known for years, and I know I've worked with these people through, on various live streams and projects and research. I know these people. And they swear up and down that it's real, I recently accepted a friend request from Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. I don't know if you guys know who she is. Well, I thought it was her. And she immediately invited me into her group, whatever. And so I've spoken to Dr. Tenpenny in the past during COVID. Her and I had a couple of conversations. So I reached out to her and I was going to invite her on. I would love to get Dr. Joy and Dr. Sherry in the same live stream. I think that would be just a phenomenal conversation. So I extended the offer, and I know that she jumps on doing interviews, and this person just didn't even answer me. And I was like, okay. And then I started seeing some of the posts that this person is posting. Guys, if you're friends with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, please beware. I do not believe that's her. You cannot have the knowledge that she has on the things that are going on in this world and post the things that she is. Whoever it is putting up damaging things to damage her reputation, I believe. Talk about the Q Kool-Aid. She's telling everybody, that the Jasara and Nasara, how good it is. It's just wonderful. And, if you followed this channel for any length of time, you know that we did, I think it was Robbie and I did a huge, huge show on Nasara, Jasara, and who's behind it and who's pushing it. Galactic Federation of Light was one of the entities that, had a hand in pushing that whole program, whatever. She's also, shouldn't I say she? It's probably somebody over in Nigeria or something, But this person is pushing the tribunals, and such and such a person was arrested, and whatever. So I ended up having to, I blocked her and unfriended her and blocked her and sent a message to her and let her know that, look, I don't know what your end game is, but good luck with that. For those that are following, and I know that we've all probably got Charlie Kirk fatigue, for lack of a better word. But I do want to put a few things out there for just a moment of this broadcast, and it's not going to be for very long. I'm sure we're all aware of what Candace Owens is putting out, and a lot of people are labeling her crazy, saying that she's wrong, that never happened, she doesn't know what she's talking about, she's crazy. She happened to put out, and let me see if I can find it. Hold on a minute. What did I do with it? Did I post it? She ended up putting out screenshots of the group chat that she was in with Charlie. Now, the people in that chat were Candace, Charlie. Hold on just a second. Let me. Hold on. Candace, Charlie. What did I do with it? Huh. All right. Oh, I know what happened. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Wondering where all my stuff went. I'm syncing my phone, and that's what happened to it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, so she put out, and I'm not going to be able to show it on the screen, but I will read it to you. So she put out a few clips of a group text. And it's just, this is Charlie speaking. He says, just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Then he goes on to say, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Now, this was 2 days before he was assassinated. 2 days. And this is what she's been saying all along. She's been saying this. And the timeline lines up with an article that was put out. It says, Mr. Kirk has been second-guessed about his evolving view on America's commitment to Israel. He told donors in Palm Beach, Florida last December that at Turning Point, we are unapologetically for Israel. But in recent months, his unflagging support has given way to frustration as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu continued Israel's nearly 2-year war in Gaza, according to 2 close associates. Mr. Kirk's willingness to showcase Turning Point events with Mr. Carlson, a forceful critic of Israel, infuriated one of the group's top donors, Robert J. Shillman, a conservative tech billionaire who 2 associates described as a father figure to Mr. Kirk. 2 days before Mr. Kirk's death, Mr. Shillman angrily questioned Mr. Kirk for having given a platform to Mr. Carlson and informed him that he was withdrawing a $2 million pledge to Turning Point. That lines up with the text messaging, okay? And if that doesn't, okay, here is the smoking gun per se. MJ Truth Ultra put up a post and it's an update Charlie Kirk, and there it is. Turning Point USA's Andrew Colvett confirms the group chat message that Candace Owens shared with Charlie Kirk saying he was done with the Israel cause 2 days before he was assassinated is 100% authentic. If you don't know who Andrew Colvett is, look him up. But he is number 2 right now next to Erica at Turning Point. So, one other thing with him. Conspiracy theorists out there are saying that Charlie Kirk did not have an autopsy. That is not true. Charlie Kirk did have an autopsy. They are keeping it under wraps because they don't want it leaked out there. But here's the thing. There will always be an autopsy when there was somebody that was unalived by somebody else. Because that's how the prosecution builds a case to prosecute the person that did it or suspected of doing it. They need the ballistics. They need the cause of death officially. And they need what the coroner has to say. You will never not see an autopsy on somebody who was unalived. You won't. And for everybody saying that he did not have one, that's not true. He did. They recovered the bullet. The bullet did not exit his body. It buried itself in his body. And essentially there was a lot of blood initially, but the reason for them not having all kinds of, blood all over the place was because he bled out internally. It hit his aorta. and that was the cause of death, that he bled out. So, but we will see that autopsy during discovery and during the court, during the trial. So, what else? What else? Oh, one more thing. So let's get back to National Guard. So the Texas National Guard rolled into Chicago overnight, and so yesterday there was supposed to be a decision, a court decision that was supposed to be made. Let me share my screen with you guys. So a decision on the lawsuit over Broadview ICE Detention Center fencing will be made by Thursday. It was supposed to be made yesterday. It says a federal judge did not yet make a decision on Tuesday on a lawsuit filed by the Village of Broadview over fencing surrounding the U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement facility. The judge said a decision will be issued by Thursday. Broadview has sued ICE and the Department of Homeland Security over the temporary fencing surrounding the detention center. The north side entrance of the facility remains blocked by tall fences. Guys, here's the thing. Oh my God, I don't believe I'm saying this. We just had a shooting in Texas at an ICE facility. Okay. They are targets right now. So I don't care if they put up a 12-foot fence. And the fact that our elected officials are doing everything in their power to not protect our troops, I think is disgusting. I really do. Yeah, absolutely disgusting. Let me add this one. I want to stop sharing that one. Let's go up to this one. This is one that happened overnight. Hundreds of National Guards roll into the city overnight. Hundreds of National Guard troops from Texas have arrived at an Army training center outside Chicago to support United States President Donald Trump's immigration crackdown. Trump has branded Chicago a war zone following a recent protest against federal immigration officials in the third largest U.S. city. So the left. Oh, geez. I don't think the left is capable of cognitive thinking, because everything that comes out of their mouth, when I think that I can't be any more shocked, one of them speaks. Okay. They were saying that Trump really has declared war. He just declared war on Chicago. Really, he has. That's not what he's done. If you want to use that term, I guess he's declared war on illegal immigration. Guys, if you have a problem or if you don't have a problem with people here illegally, and you think that the United States is being just being bad, you guys are just being horrible people, try going over to Israel, try going over to Russia, try going over to Germany, try going over anywhere other country, China, South Korea. Try getting in those countries without the proper paperwork. They will turn you around and send you back, just like we should be doing here. Turn you around and send you back. But they haven't done anything wrong. Yes, they did. They came into the country illegally. Yeah. Well, my grandparents your grandparents came here with papers through Ellis Island. They did it legally. I don't think your grandparents came over on a boat, walking up the beaches of North Carolina or South Carolina. I don't think that happened. I just don't think they're capable of cognitive thinking. I really don't. But Trump did say that that he would invoke the Insurrection Act if the courts keep blocking his troops from deploying into the cities. And yeah, that's not. Let me see if I can pull that up. Insurrection Act. So Trump said that he'd be considering invoking the Insurrection Act. What does that mean? And it says President Trump says he would consider declaring an insurrection inside the United States, accusing Democratic governors and mayors of preventing the federal government from enforcing immigration laws and turning their cities into war zones. That's where they got. He's declaring war. Oh. Chicago's a great city where there's a lot of crime. Oh, that's for sure. Trump told reporters on Tuesday, and if the governor can't do the job, we'll do the job, and it's that simple. Invoking the Insurrection Act would unfurl extraordinary presidential powers to use military force in American cities in a manner not used since the civil rights movement. It also would potentially pit troops from the Southern Republican-run state against Northern Democratic-run cities and states. Some too. Let me repeat that. Did you guys catch that? It would also potentially pit troops from the South Republican-run state against Northern Democratic-run cities and states. What does that sound like to you? That sounds like a civil war. Some 200 National Guard troops from Texas were preparing to deploy to Chicago this week. They're here. Administration officials told the federal judge this week, who agreed not to block the deployments for now. That escalates the situation quite a bit. Catherine Kuminitsky, director of studies at the Center for the New American Security, said about the deployment of the Texas troops to Chicago. It creates a tinderbox, she said. Under the law, the president can use military troops to protect federal buildings and federal employees, but they can only conduct domestic law enforcement if they remain under control of the state's governors. A major exception to those constraints is the Insurrection Act, which Trump said that he's open to invoking if people were getting killed and if Democrat-run states like Illinois and Oregon were holding things up. Signed into law in 1807 by President Thomas Jefferson, the law allows the president to deploy military troops inside the United States to act as law enforcement and quell an insurrection and threaten a state or its residents. So in other words, the Insurrection Act null and voids the posse comitatus. So that's what that would do as well. Yeah. And she's right. It is a tinderbox. Absolutely right. Yeah. I was going to say something else about, what did I say about Pritzker? I remember. There was something about Pritzker I was going to say. I don't know, but he's running for president next election. So, God. Yeah. Yeah. I can't even fathom the thought of him being president. Oh dear God in heaven. This country would be just horrible. There was something about Chicago and Illinois that I was going to say, and it just went out of my head. Oh well. If I remember it, I'll talk about it tonight. It has something to do with what's going on. I don't know what it was. Let's see, what else do I got? I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, there was a interview where the reporter she shut Pritzker down. It was marvelous to watch. She literally fact checked him on the spot and called him out on everything. Everything came out of his mouth was a lie. Every single word, and she called him out on it immediately. I don't know if he thought it was going to be like a fluff piece or something, but she held his feet to the fire, and it was brilliant to watch. It really was. I don't know. But the crime, guys, the crime here in Chicago is definitely, it needs to, something needs to happen here. It really does. The mayor, Brandon Johnson, is just, just inept. He can't, he's not doing it, his job. They're so afraid of upholding the statutes and regulations and laws and right, you know, everything that's in place to keep people safe and to keep the cities running. They don't want to stand up for any of that. It's like laws don't exist when the Democrats are ruling. Everybody's allowed to get away with whatever they want. It's like, you know, it's like sending the kids to grandma's house. You know, they get away with whatever they want. They can stay up as late as they want. They don't have repercussions at all. And that's not the real world. Oh, that was it, the real world. Okay, so there was a post that said that this was the Dems' way of thinking. Okay, so this is how the Democrats think. The girl put up a post and she said that Trump refuses to pay federal workers during the shutdown. And I said, what do you mean? He's refusing to what? Pay them for not working? On where do you get paid to not work? That's their backwards thinking. She 100% was pissed off because Trump refuses to pay workers who are not working during the shutdown. That really? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I do not believe in the left side, right side paradigm anymore. I don't, you know, I don't believe in it. And what's sad about it is that the left is so hell-bent on hating the right that it's hard to even have a productive conversation with one of them. I've tried. I mean, I've tried to have, you know, to show these people, you know, they were talking about affirmative action. Oh, I know what it was. I remember what it was I'm talking about. They were talking about affirmative action and how, you know, Charlie Kirk, he's a racist because he said that you'd have to question if there was a black, if there was a black pilot flying the plane that you're on, you'd have to ask if he's qualified. So then I had to explain affirmative action to these people, or DEI. I had to explain it to them. I'm like, you don't understand that these two things, affirmative action and DEI, they promote people and put people in positions based solely on the color of their skin, not their merits, not their qualifications. So yes, when you do see somebody of color in a position like your pilot, you know, you have to ask. And she said, well, he was calling, I don't know, I can't remember her name. One was Michelle Obama, and there's two other women saying that they got their positions because of the color of their skin. No, he didn't say that. They said it. So I had to go pull the video and I had to put that up and say, no, he didn't say it. He was referring to what they said. They said that they were put in the positions because of the color of their skin. I firmly don't believe in affirmative action. I think everybody should get promoted or get what they got on merit, on your abilities. I'll tell you something. I don't want a surgeon operating on me or anybody in my family who is a D student. But they put him in there just because they needed somebody, you know, of his ethnic background to fill the position. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want that. I want somebody there on their merits. And I think that sells, it's a bad look, first off. It's a bad look. And I think that it makes for a person to be even lazier. you know, when you go to medical school or wherever school you go to, whatever secondary school you go to, it should be in your forefront of your mind to do the best that you can. I want to be on the dean's list. I want to do this because when I get out into the real world, I want to be chosen because I was first, second, third in my class. Now, they can go out party, do whatever the hell they want, not even have to worry about it because you know what? It doesn't matter. Somebody out there will hire me just because of my skin color. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I don't know what I'm doing. It doesn't matter if I killed 4 people before I got there. It doesn't matter. So, yeah. That's why I don't believe in affirmative action. Okay, so the last thing I have, which I almost forgot, was the FBI has cut ties with, and this is pretty fascinating because I think I want to talk about this. I don't know if we're going to do it tonight or if I'm going to do like a standalone like this in the mornings to start getting some good content for you guys. But the FBI has cut ties with the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, and the Southern Poverty Law Center. And these two agencies, well, the one was created solely to protect a rapist, a man of Semitic background raped a woman, and this whole entire, I can't remember if it was the ADL or the Southern Poverty, I think it was the ADL. The whole thing was created to defend him. So I would love to get into that. And I would quit if I was a D. Yeah, I know, right? I'm black and I have never put my race on applications. I want my resume to do that. Yeah, exactly. See, I the same thing. I don't, you know, when they ask, you know, what race are you? I never put down anything because I don't think that should be a thing. And another thing I noticed because I was doing lots of applications last year was that they ask you about your disability. You know, if you have a disability. And lupus is now lupus and fibromyalgia are both now classified as disabilities. So I could put that on applications, but why? Why would I disclose that? That could go one of two ways. It could be like, oh, she's got that. Yeah, she's going to miss a lot of time at work. Or they could be like, oh, hey, yeah, we can get $5,000 if we hire her. I don't want that. Come on. Do it by your own, your merits. You know, dig your heels in and do what we did. Do what we did back in the day, what your grandparents did. You know, I just can't. I can't think the way they think. It is so backwards, like literally backwards. And the Bible tells us, in the end times, you know, good will be evil, evil will be good. You know, I believe we live in a bizarro world. You know, upside down. Everything is upside down. Just crazy. And then we've got AI Atlas coming. I thought about baking a cake and, you know, putting coffee on like I normally do when people are supposed to come and they never do. So, yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. All the new agers are out there going to be with their, you know, their, I don't even know, dream catchers or whatever, kumbayaing around the fire. Come down, we want to talk to you. Whatever. All right, that's all I got. I get to work. But I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I need to give you guys the link to my personal channel because I can't log on to this account on my other phone that I use to go live on YouTube. So let me get you that channel. Switch account. Here we go. And it is 8:15 right now. I will probably be live around 9. Okay, so here is my channel. It's my private channel. And here is the link. Copy. And I'll put the link in the... I'll put the link in the description below or in the comment section so you guys can grab it. Are you Central Time too? Yeah. I'm trying to... I thought we were supposed to change our clock. Somebody said we're changing our clocks back early this year. Somebody said it was last weekend, and I was like, yeah, so now we're sleeping in. Liars. Liar pants. Yeah. Just looking at my notes, trying to figure out what I want to talk to. See what John wants to do. Because I've got a list of topics. I've got targeted individuals. I've got frequencies. I've got what was the other one? U.S. Constitution as far as Black's Law. And that's going to be a scandal. I don't think I'm going to do a show on that one. I think I'll probably do a video on that one. But all right, guys, that's all we got. I will see you tonight. Don't know if, like I said, I don't know if Big John's going to be with me or not, but I will be back tonight. And I'm sure he will be. So, all right. I will see you guys in a little bit. You guys all have a great day. And until next time, remember, eyes open, no fear.